The destruction of over 200 hectares forest land in the Democratic Republic of Congo's Virunga National Park is attributed to war, refugees and armed groups who are invading the park to mine charcoal and firewood. VOA's Paul Ndiho reports from Eastern Congo.
Deforestation caused by war refugees and local armed groups plunging the Virunga National Park for charcoal and firewood is jeopardizing the reserve of Congo. In the background, you can see the choking smoke swirling from the majestic Nyiragongo volcano. Talk about deforestation. People really don't understand what it's all about. To give you some context, this is what deforestation is all about. People fleeing from their homes who are now in these IDPs descended on this forest and cut down all the trees. Many refugees risk their safety to gather firewood in this park to survive.
This is where they make charcoal. Everywhere you see them, they are making charcoal. Once done, they carry the charcoal, put it in sacks, and take it by the roadside to sell for money. But the biggest challenge is that even these people making charcoal need to make more money. They are just trying to survive.
For 25-year-old Beatrice Byabagambi, a mother of 6 who fled her home in Chibumba due to the conflict and now lives in Kanyaruchinya, IDP, walks 8 miles each day to gather firewood. Her story is a testament to the tenacity and hope of the hundreds of thousands of women in internally displaced persons camps who face a constant hardship and sexual violence.
We wake up at 6 a.m., walk 8 miles, and arrive here at 9 a.m. And then we start collecting firewood. When we are done, we grab the firewood, put it on our heads, head back home, arrive at 4 p.m., and then rest.
Byabagambi and her family are living a difficult life. As we walked through this vast chunk of land, Beatrice says armed men have raped her in this forest several times.
Every day I come here to look for firewood with my baby because I don't have where to leave him. But more importantly, we are hungry. That's why I come here every day to look for firewood.
Selling charcoal is the only economic activity a lot of people can do for now. Most of these people have fled from their homes. They don't have an income, they don't have jobs, they don't have what to eat, they don't even have anything to wake up to. So what are they doing? They come here, cut down these trees and make charcoal. Several other women I spoke to agree that women are at great peril in the forest as they collect firewood. To combat sexual assault, activists like Pasi Mobalama are working to sensitize women in IDP camps on ways to protect themselves and seek assistance.
As women, we are exposed to many things. When raped, you end up with all sorts of diseases and you might get pregnant. I am here to tell you women who are listening, don't keep quiet when you are raped. Speak out. We have a support system here that can help you.
To prevent attacks, women are told to travel in groups into the forests to collect firewood.
For an eyewitness account on the deforestation and conflict in the DRC, I'm joined by my colleague Paul Ndiho, who recently returned from Congo. Paul, give us a sense of the situation in Eastern Congo.
Thank you, Esther. It's good to be back.
You're welcome.
The situation there is very, very grim. The stories that you hear, you read about, it's very much a reality when you hit the ground. It strikes you because the women are dealing with unprecedented levels of lack of hope, no food, no water, no medicine. There's so much going on in that country that I don't know what the international community can do.
You talk about, women living in a terrible situation. But were you able to meet some of these women and children in the displaced camps?
We went to about 10 IDPs within Goma or around Goma. And what's striking when you reach some of these camps, the sheer number of people. There are over 1 million displaced people in the DRC. These are all internal displaced persons living within maybe about 15 kilometers outside of Goma. So when you hit some of these camps, the one thing that strikes you is the level of poverty. There is lack of food, lack of water, lack of medicine. There is absolutely nothing there on the ground for these people really to wake up to. There is no medicine. If a kid dies, they just dig a grave and just bury the kid. You walk, you talk to people, everybody is crying of hunger. They are hungry, they need food. There was an example, or there was a lady that I met, she was really, really sick. I grabbed some medicine, I gave her some water. People said, no, she doesn't need that. She just needs a little bit of money just to buy some food. That's the level of poverty or the level of distress that these people are dealing with.
And on top of that, the much talked about rebel group in that area is the M23 rebels. Did you have an encounter with these rebels?
I mean, to be honest with you, M23 is just part of the problem. There are more than 120 militia groups, according to the UN and other NGOs in there. So the M23 is just part of the bigger problem. But for sure, right now as we speak, the M23 rebels have moved out of the centers that they occupied, or the land, the big chunk of land that they had captured over the years. So now they have gone back to some of the areas that were agreed upon during the Nairobi summit. So you have East African troops that have taken over some of those former rebel-controlled areas. So yes, the M23 are there, but they're not visible. At night, they show up. During the day, they're wearing civilian clothes, so you can't tell who is M23 and who is not M23.
So what are the forces really doing there? We have the East African Regional Force. We understand even SADC is sending some forces. What is their role, and why haven't they been able to quell this crisis?
Esther, that's the million-dollar question. I think the most important thing is to bring about a semblance of peace and stability. All these external forces or internal forces are trying to achieve one thing: bring peace, bring back people to their homes. Because when you drive around those neighborhoods, they're all deserted. There is not a single soul in those houses. So what the East African troops are doing is trying to bring people back to their communities.
Paul, thank you very much, and good job over there. Glad to have you back here.
Thank you.
Paul Ndiho updating us on the situation in Eastern Congo.